Welcome to the Older Kids Podcast, where we revisit movies from our childhood to see if they still hold up. I am Elliott GB, and today I am joined by double return guests, though you've only seen one time because one episode was lost because it was too good and the computer said they ain't ready. So, welcome to the show. Very funny comedian. Greatest sound effects. You just heard one. That wasn't a bubble popping. That was a person. Welcome to the show. It's Arlo Weierhauser.
Can I have an Azuga?
Ugh, Bill Gates called and said the episode was too good. We have to can it. They're not ready on Internet Explorer.
Bill Gates said, I was just jumping over my chair and I heard the episode.
Mid-leap, I heard it.
He stopped. He hovered midair and said,
Hola.
Melinda, start the car.
I was trying to remember her name and I was like, Melania. It's not Melania.
Melania Gates. What if she did? What if she was like, fuck you, Donald, I'm out, and then went to Bill Gates?
What if she changed her name and accent?
This is me now, Donald. Fuck you, bro.
That's how cool I am.
Fuck you, dog.
I don't give a shit, do you?
That's great.
Wasn't that the jacket? I don't know.
That was it. No, yeah. The jacket was, I don't give a shit, do you? Wait, was that actually what it said?
Yeah, it said, I don't care. I don't really care, do you?
Yeah. Huh.
Because she's a villain from fucking 101 Dalmatians.
That's true. I do always forget that. I look at people and I forget that they're villains. And I need to remember that. That's what I've been working on in therapy, is that there are villains in this world.
Yes.
Yes.
They're all queer coded. They're all from Disney. Like, I know her jacket looked like it was made out of like green khaki, but it was like endangered lizard. I don't know. She's a fucking beast.
And if that doesn't boil your blood, listeners, I don't know what will.
Get activated, team.
Get vaccinated, get activated, get vactivated.
Get vaccinated.
Speaking of activated,
I want to say that I'm going to get vaccinated tomorrow for posterity, just in case, like, well, it doesn't go good. You know what I mean?
And then
so,
it can
this will be the last recorded thing of, like, remember when Arlo, that dipshit, fell for the Johnson & Johnson vaccination at Cal OAS? Please.
Send help.
Please no.
Even though this will come out 2 days later. If you have a time machine.
But then by then, I'll, be sick or dead. I also did talk a lot of shit about other people getting their vaccination early. And then had to have a friend book mine because I'm just not good at things. But I am still a little bit mad of all of you that got your vaccination first. That's all I'm going to say.
I say live your life.
Yeah. Just YOLO. I hate that look. That's it. You fucking... I'm pretty sure
That's
I'm
my
not
TikTok
supposed
look.
to... I have something to say, but I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say it.
Email it to me.
Right,
speaking of email and vaccines, let's talk about the movie we're here to talk about. Like you didn't already read it in the title. We're talking about Rescuers Down Under.
Down Under.
Walt Disney Pictures presents its all-new 29th full-length animated motion picture. Australia. Mysterious. Untamed. And for a young boy named Cody and his magnificent golden eagle, it was a world of adventure and discovery.
Fire!
Until
I got her!
they met the villain McLeach,
That bird's gonna make me rich.
an evil trapper who threatens to separate them forever.
It's time you learned how to fish for crocs.
But though hope is running out, a message is on the way. To the Rescue Aid Society.
There has been a kidnapping in Australia.
And two little heroes, Bernard and Bianca, are flying in.
Hey, let's go for it!
It's the Rescuers in the most dangerous mission ever.
We'll never make it.
Since
Cinch up your seatbelts, mates.
Now, they're joining forces with their new friend Jake and his army of misguided mates.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Aw, Frank, give it a rest.
They're flying into action, riding into danger.
Missed.
In the most breathtaking rescue mission ever.
Hey, who killed the music?
Oops. This holiday season, join Bernard, Bianca, Jake, and
Wilbur.
in an adventure above the ordinary in the land down under. Walt Disney Pictures' The Rescuers Down Under.
Throw another shrimp in a barbie, sports fans. Here we come.
What a fucking party.
What a trailer we just watched.
Aren't you psyched?
Incredible.
Already?
I am. So what's your connection to this movie? Why'd you want to do it?
I remember watching the original Rescuers, which came out in 1970 7, long time ago. That was inappropriate use of profanity, but you get my point.
All right, podcast over. Goodbye.
All right, fuck us. There's a big gap between the original Rescuers and then this sequel. And I know I've said this before, but like we weren't the type of family that like went to movies. However, I did talk to my dad this week, like I do every week, twice a week for 20 years. It's fine. And I was like, do you remember this movie? And he was like, yeah, I think I took you shitty ass kids to the movie.
And you're like,
So
there
give
it
up.
is.
They're good.
There we
What
go.
do you have to do? Work a whole day and just left us there? Cool. It came out in 1990. And I remember loving the movie profusely. It's a fucking fantastic film.
Yeah.
But specifically, and this will come up a lot, spoiler alert, on this podcast, there is a lizard that rides a different lizard.
Some
At one
hot Liz
point.
on Liz action.
Yeah, okay, well, that's gross. And you're
Bring the
canceled.
face back?
All right. Cancel. It's Elliott's over party.
2021, baby.
Maybe.
First of the year.
But he like pretends to be a cowboy, but like does it shittily, and he's like, howdy, 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 howdy.
Yeah, ride 'em, Frank.
Yahoo! Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And me and my fucking little sister said that I think 900,000 times throughout our childhood. Anytime that we were like shittily making fun of mostly each other, but anything else as well,
Yeah.
like doing like a that's what you sound like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of bit. It would always end up with howdy, howdy, howdy. Like
It would just devolve. Like there's no, if that's where you start, it doesn't matter where you
Yes,
start.
it's
All
bullets
all roads lead to howdy, howdy, howdy.
Frank, howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah.
Just like shittily being a cowboy on a different lizard is honestly just the height of comedy. There's
Oh,
nothing funnier.
It peaked. You heard it here first. Wrap
it's
it up.
that and like every bit from Dumb and Dumber, but that's
That's a movie.
the pinnacle.
Now that's a flick. That's a flick right there, buddy.
Yeah, I liked every part of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. I remember, I think this might have been, I was going to check with them, but I think my cousins had it on VHS. I think
Hell yeah, dude.
Kelsey and Britta, shout out to them again.
Shout out.
And they also had Fern Gully. So the last episode that came out.
Yeah.
Not
heard
the
it.
last one we did, because the last one we did, Bill Gates put a stop to it. But I hope there's
Shout
like
out to-
I hope there's like one
Future
crazed
episode.
fan that just like insane tweets Bill Gates, and it's just like, how dare you?
Release the tapes.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've just been jumping over chairs.
Can
if
I
you-
tell them what it was? No, that's it. I
No,
mean,
no.
you would tell them if you wanted them to know.
Yeah, I don't think they've earned it yet.
I have to remind myself every day this isn't my podcast.
every day since you've last
Every
been on,
day.
you wake up and you say,
Wake up,
not yours.
take my meds, drink a cup of water. Remind myself Elliott's podcast is not my podcast.
You have it like memento style tattooed on your
Yep.
arm.
Yeah,
This
do you want
is-
to see?
Yeah. Not underlined. Your podcast.
Your podcast.
But yeah, I just remember this movie just being good. And I remember Joanna. I do remember McLeach having an Australian accent and and at some point saying, "Get those eggs, Joanna."
Get those eggs, Joanna.
And I'm not going to lie, I've been quoting that years.
I like that that's your quote, you weird creep.
Yeah, well, it's
Eggs, Joanna.
and especially working in restaurants, it's when someone's like, "I'm going to go grab some eggs." I'm just like, "Get those eggs, Joanna.
Get those eggs, Joanna."
Get those eggs, Joanna.
Joanna is maybe my favorite villain accomplice of
sure.
all time. Like, there's been some really funny ones. Like, I just like, for credit, shout out to like Ursula's eels. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Solid. The hyenas
Mm-hmm.
from Lion King, but like Joanna, fucking made of bad choices, made of dastardly good, just a Slytherin through and through. Bless her heart. I live for her energy.
Yes. Yeah.
Her dedication to eggs and her like comedy timing. Delicious.
You can't teach it. And that's just that's a lizard's natural instinct, because like you said, there's another lizard, Frank, who also very funny character.
Very, very funny. Very funny.
So I'd say, yeah, let's knock it out. First high. Lizards.
Oh, lizards for sure. Okay, my first high chronologically is that within 90 seconds of the movie beginning, first of all, it's like beautiful, beautiful animation, point one, right? Yeah. 2, 90 seconds in, you're like, oh, this kid has a job, like a job. Like
he is at work.
He, goes and like fucking gets them critters. Like he has a job. And like his mom's like, oh, you might have a good day. And he's like, ugh, like all strapping on for work and just going and rescuing little fucking Australian critters. Oh, he's an inspiration. Steve Irwin wishes he could. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. Wait, hold on.
I don't know.
I don't know if I want to agree with that one, because I'm a big Steve Irwin fan. R.I.P. the King.
No, I mean, you know, like inspiration comes from a lot of places, and maybe you know, with Cody.
Yeah. They asked like Steve Irwin, like, what kind of gets you going? He's like, every day I'll just wake up, think about Cody.
That kid that lived under the giant fucking rock that everyone knows in Australia.
Giant rock. Yep.
Table or Mesa or something. No, it's Arizona. That's different.
Close. They're close.
But he lives right under there, you know, where nobody lives, and then has no Australian accent whatsoever.
Nope. They relocated, and so did everyone in that area.
Yeah, just an immigrant story, which I love.
Yep.
I literally only have positive things to say.
I have a couple lows, but I do have, on that note, it's kind of, I had it as a mid, because it's, I don't know where it sits with me, but it's just the fact that with Cody, like you said, he has this job to save animals right off the jump. You see that he can communicate with these animals, and not just like pointing, go that way. And he's like, I think I should go that way. It's like, he's like, what the fuck is up? And they're like, all right, dog, glad you're here. First of all, like that shirt. And he's like, thank you so much. And that, like, they're having conversations.
Who's got this time?
You don't know her, Cody. Her name is Marahute, the great golden eagle.
Where is she?
She's caught high on a cliff in a poacher's trap. You're the only one who can reach her.
I'll get her loose.
Righto, hop on. No time to lose.
And but they never explain. They don't like say that Cody has like this crazy power, or, you know, like something. It is what it is. He can talk to animals. I don't know if McLeach is sort of the same way, because him and Joanna have like that.
That's a different understanding. It's like every single Disney movie where just like kids can communicate with animals and nobody ever questions it, and that's the magic of Disney.
Yeah.
Creech and Joanna have just like a fundamental understanding. And also Joanna doesn't ever say a word. I don't know why you thought she did. That's weird.
No, I knew she didn't say a word.
Have you assigned a voice to her?
I knew.
Do you hear her?
How about some great big AAA jumbo eagle eggs? Huh? You want them? Hey, you want them? Go get them. Why, whatever's the matter, Joanna?
This is like shit where everyone's like, man, I wish she talked. I'm like, I understood perfectly everything she said. I don't know what you guys are talking about. She's actually kind of a poet. It's pretty crazy that Disney would put that in there, like for kids.
You know
this
what
young.
I love? Joanna's monologues.
What she said about the Vietnam War was honestly,
Yeah, I like that part too.
just, I had to pause the movie. I got goosebumps. It was insane.
Can you recreate that monologue really quick?
No, because
That's what it sounded like.
that was, she did have a lot of like, hey, shit, all of that.
What a voice actor we have in our hands.
Yeah, and I am working on a reel. I'm not gonna lie, but
Let Joanna be here.
this is my slate. Hi, my name is Elliott GB. I am auditioning for the role of Woody in Toy Story 5. And I will be reading a monologue from Rescuers Down Under from the character of Joanna.
Joanna.
Thank you.
Really good voice for her, bub.
And then Tom Hanks is like, wow, and I just fuck right off. That was beautiful.
Yeah. What am I even doing? Who did I think I was? Huh? Beautiful.
But anyways, yeah. So they don't really talk about it. And I guess, yeah, that is the magic of Disney. But it was also interesting because, like you said, some of the animals didn't talk. Joanna didn't talk.
Well, if they're bad, they can't talk. And this is consistent through like the first rescuers too. Like all the crocodiles can't talk because they're all bad. Joanna can't talk because she's bad. Also, weirdly, the eagle can't talk.
Marahute.
Marahute.
Which
What a
I don't
name.
know if that's an Australian like indigenous name or what's going on, but yeah, that was definitely a name out there too.
Do you think that we should have looked it up?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah, probably. But
But-
Marahute can't talk. But in like a noble, virtuous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the lion from the Lion King kind of way. But he did talk a lot, actually, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. She didn't talk. But yeah, like shout out to the little mice. All mice can talk. That's important. Some birds, but not other birds.
Mm-hmm. There's just a
Some lizards, but not other. There's no sense in it. Okay, now I hear it.
yeah, it's just a little like, so I Googled Marahute and it's literally just all has to do with Rescuers Down Under. So I think
Maybe they made it up.
oh no, wait.
Or erase the history, bro.
Fuck. Bill, we need
All
you.
white people.
We got a question.
suspicious.
We need you to go in the history of the internet and see, did Disney erase Marahute?
History of Marahute. Nothing more suspicious than an all-white Disney cast. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable. Actually, my main low for this was it was just an incredibly dark story. Like, if you really think about it, it's about a kid getting kidnapped and he's about to be killed once he gives up this information by this poacher.
Yeah.
And like,
His mom has to really be going through it.
oh, when they like do that little check-in scene.
Yeah,
the
and she's like calling out over that. Yeah.
Well, that, but then when the like ranger shows up with his backpack and is like,
Oh my God.
this kid's fucked.
Those particular areas. In other news, authorities in Mogwant Flats have called off the search for the missing boy. His backpack was found near Crocodile Falls, and local rangers believe he was yet another victim of crocodile attack.
And
Yeah.
like, and then they say on the radio, which then the abductor, McLeach, is listening to, hears that they're like, yeah, we're calling it off. This kid's dead. That's when he's like, I can do whatever I want. And that's when
Yeah.
Joanna's like, and fuck, I should have done that in my audition.
No, you're right.
But that's where I was like, this story is actually really dark, and I haven't seen
I don't
the
think that's
first
low.
one.
Sorry.
You know, well, it's kind of low.
It had some fucking depth, man.
It definitely had depth, but it's like and I know you don't realize it as a kid. You don't realize how fucked up it is and how like scary. Like as an adult, I'm watching. I'm like, this would be like you said, the mom going through. Like this would be terrifying.
Yeah.
If your kid was out there,
single mom raising her kid, literally in the outback. First of all, wild choices front to back.
Yeah.
To begin with, mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to lose her kid and be like, yeah, he definitely got ate up by them crocs. But also, this is definitely in the theme of rescuers. The first one, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but like the first one is an orphan being abducted by like a fucking treasure robber in the South, and like they threaten her constantly with crocodiles and like make her go down this like hole where like the ocean keeps coming up, and she's constantly in risk of drowning to like get a jewel. Like it's fucked up. This is the rescuers brand.
Yeah. this is what we do, baby.
This is what they do. Yeah.
They probably just looked up cold cases and were like, all right.
It does smack of like CSI.
Let's put this in a script. Let's have some little animals do this shit, and it's gonna be cute.
SVU. Hit it.
And that's another thing. It's like this movie, they're not like, there's fantasy elements to it, but they're not really dressing it up. Like it's not even, and it's not even like Cody gets lost and then gets found by this dude, and the dude, like maybe if they softened it, it'd be like he gets found by McLeach, and McLeach is like, all right, I'm gonna get you back, and then he finds like the feather in his bag and is like, oh, this dude's got some information, so let me try to get that. Just right from the jump, McLeach is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, kid.
Yes.
And like
brutality.
Yeah. And it's like you don't even like soften it a little bit. You don't just, but like
kinda
you said,
gritty.
that's their fucking brand. That's their bread and butter. But I didn't realize there was so much time in between the first Rescuers movie and the second one.
77, babe.
Yeah, when I realized the dark story of this one, then I haven't seen the first one in a long time. And so I started to think about it, and I was like, I feel like the first one is kind of fucked up too. Because I just remember that kid on like that methy ass houseboat. And like being like,
and like the villain lady drives like a
fan boat,
swamp boat. Yeah. It's like which is terrifying, but also the animation in that is absolutely fantastic and brilliant. But yeah, no, it's like a horror story. It's like worse than All Dogs Go to Heaven, which is another orphan rescued by critters story. Just saying.
More critters. More critters.
I really love that the golden eagle Maracute is the size of a fucking pterodactyl or whatever. Like, is the biggest fuck ass bird that's never. It's bigger than a pterodactyl. It's like that one. Did you see that like Reddit post where they like discovered like the biggest prehistoric bird that ever existed, and it's like all fucking propped up. Anyway, it's the biggest goddamn thing that's ever existed, and like that's never addressed.
No, yeah, McLeach
it's
isn't
bigger
like
than the wish dragon. It's so big.
That'd be funny if just in the middle of the movie they're just like, we just want to make sure we're all on the same page, right? This bird is big as fuck. This bird is fucking terrifying, right? You guys?
Our animator kind of went ham and just drew the biggest fuck ass bird that we.
You know what it was?
We weren't even ready.
It was probably like it was a dude that they were like, we don't really want Bob here, so we're just gonna give him the bird. And Bob's like, I'm gonna draw the fuck out of this bird.
He's like, I'm gonna fuck up this bird.
He's like, you think I don't know what you're doing? You're trying to one job me. You're trying to one job me right now.
And I will show you my one job.
I will job the shit out of that one job.
Like, remember the phoenix bird or whatever, and like magical beats and where to drop them? Magical beats.
What?
To find them. You remember that?
I don't know what
that flies over the entire desert. It's too big.
I don't know. I want to back up. I don't know what magical beats and where to drop them.
Magical beasts and where to find them. The 9th in the Harry Potter series.
Yeah, I don't. I don't get
It's a
down
real
with that.
spin-off situation.
I don't.
All right. Well, she's a transphobic piece of shit. So fuck
That is
her and
true.
the horse
That
she
is true.
rode it on.
And it's like interesting. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny when you see someone just really dig in, you know, and like just when all that came out, and that is like, ooh, that's fucked up, and she's like, I ain't scared, and you're like,
double down.
You're like, oh, all right, let's go
again.
Yeah, it's like you just don't see that anymore.
She literally, God, I hate that fucking slimy cunt. I will reserve that just for her. She's a fucking slimy cunt. I like that all the little mice create like a Rube Goldberg machine to like alert each other. Like it's a real mousetrap situation, right? But like very technologically advanced methods, like they trick people, and I don't know. It's like that's such a gratifying like montage of like, oh, trouble, and then like how the signal bounces from coast to coast to coast, and like how all the mice learn Morse code. Good for them. You know what I mean? Like you don't hear enough about Morse code college for mice.
You don't. You honestly don't. And that's thank you for bringing it up, because this episode is actually sponsored by the Morse Code College for Mice. Morse code.
Mouse code.
Mousecode.edu. And their tagline is
rats unwelcome.
No,
they're kind of biggity. They're kind of biggity.
You have your own college for that. Okay? You have your own space. This is for the mice. But Morse code, it's not just for humans.
They're so clever, and they're so little. It's just nice. I do like that montage a lot because they're so little.
Yeah. Well, I did have.
And it takes like 3 of them to download a phone and like.
Yep.
I don't know.
I did have as one of my highs the miniaturized world. How they have like every aspect of the human society miniaturized in the same space. So like the restaurant, the UN, the airport, the little airport where he like flips over the thing and he's like looking at us like, oh, it's a jumbo.
No, you have to go back to the UN for a second because it
UN
fucking mentioned, and it's a recreation. You know, like it's a continuation rather from the first one. They have this beautifully organized society and like non-profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just go ahead and rescue human fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all just so little and they're from every country, and like, wow, were there some stereotypical fucking representation.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I looked and it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
The first one, there's some problems in the first one.
The first one makes sense because that was 77.
They did,
all rules were
for
off.
1990, bro. They did a fucking earnestly pretty decent job of not being dicks.
Yes. Okay. I thought you were going to say there was like a blaring one that I missed. I was going to be like, oh no.
Actually, now I can't remember if it's in Down Under or the first one, but there is 3 different shots of a specific UN participant that's just sitting very proudly behind the placard for Africa.
No, that's the first one. That has to be.
That is the first one. 3 different shots. Africa, right next to like Holland. You know what I mean? Like Germany, and then it's just Africa.
Yeah. And that's the 70s. That's the 70s right there.
Yeah, 90s they did a pretty decent job. I do love the UN, and I like that everyone is like kind of hot for Bianca because she's like, not only is she like hot, but she's charming, she's smart, and she's like a secret agent, and
like classy too. Just like suave and just. It's all effortless. It's all effortless, you know.
Yeah. I will bring out one thing just before we get like too far in the timeline because I want to circle back to this one part. Marahute grabs Cody in his like cute little outfit, just like his little nature shorts and his desert boots and his little backpack, and she for sure brings him back to the nest to feed her young. And I don't think that we acknowledge that at first, but like, oh no, she caught a critter to feed her soon to be born young. That kid is for eating for sure. And then like, a beautiful friendship springs out of that. But like, Don't act like she wasn't like delicious.
It's one of those friendships where like a couple of years down the line, they're gonna be like sitting there drinking together, and like they're gonna be like pretty drunk. Marahute is gonna be way more drunk and be like, when I first met you, I was gonna fucking kill you.
Straight up, bro.
And Cody's like,
nom, 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 nom.
What? And she's like, what can you say? Kids gotta eat. Pass me another beer. And he's just like, and then the next day she has no memory of it, and he's like,
right.
So I think we got to talk about something you said last night.
Like you don't ever eat human kids, right?
I didn't even
like never ever.
I mean, they're not ever out there.
Mara,
you're the only one. Hootie
is such a bad.
Look at me. Hootie. He calls her Hootie.
Hey.
He calls her Hootie.
Hootie.
It's me. It's Cody here.
Square up.
It's Code. Now we gonna have to fight. And Rahuti's like, I'm still gigantic compared to you, so this is not gonna go well.
Just steps on him.
So you think that's interesting because I didn't even pick it up. So you think the only reason Cody wasn't dead within the first 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, when he falls off the fucking She's like, nom, 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 nom.
Well, was because that the chicks haven't hatched yet.
Yeah. If they hatched, boy was gonna be. I mean, they would have been spitting up them little desert boots, them little tiny ass little desert boots.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, he would.
I didn't even think
he
about
were gonna be dinner.
That's so crazy.
There's no like.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say it, it makes complete sense. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I'm looking at the magic of like this kid can talk to animals.
The eagle doesn't talk back.
But they're.
Never once does the eagle talk back.
Marahute's bad.
I mean, I just feel like she's a good mom.
So you're saying good moms are bad? Good moms are the villains?
And look at this is where the scale becomes really important, because like you wouldn't be considered bad for like killing a cockroach. Right?
Maybe. In this world?
That little fuck ass kid is so goddamn little.
That's what we call an outback cockroach.
Cockroach. He's a little fucking kid named Cody. I don't know how to do an Australian accent, but I'm going to keep trying.
Cody the cockroach. It's, yeah.
Nar. Only what I know.
Whoa.
No, ever.
You don't just do like the Outback Steakhouse? Blooming onion.
Oh, that's how you get into it. You
That's
know
how
what I
you
mean?
get
Like
into
every
character,
accent like has a hook. You got blooming
onion.
Blooming onion.
It's like you're just trying to move your mouth as much as possible. Yeah, blooming onion.
It is a mouthy dialect.
Yeah. Australia, why you do that? Anyways, I said I do have a couple lows, but I do want to say my first high, and this is in all caps, is everything. Because
everything.
This movie is so, if anything, I have as a low that I feel like it was too short.
The pace.
But like
lickety split.
I don't know what else to add to it because it's like it's so good, it's so tight. I guess if anything, I would want to see Frank and all those animals come back a little bit more. You know?
It's funny going back and watching it now because like I remember Frank and like the koala and the kangaroo, like in my mind occupying a much bigger space, but they're literally in one scene split apart two different chunks, but like I thought they were like bigger characters. It moves at such a pace, you immediately know every character, love them. It makes you like a simp for nature. Like it makes you like we should be doing more preserving. We should be.
This movie turned me into a nature simp.
We should be cracking down on poachers more. Yes.
Yeah, we need to get McLeach out of here. Great villain. Really, but also like...
Holy shit.
McLeach was apparently like the... Not like directly the influence for future Disney villains in like the 90s. Because this was during like the Disney, what'd they call it? The Disney Renaissance. So from 89 to 99. And so he was kind of like the
Bangers.
first big villain. So he was like the influence for like Gaston. I think like, Gaston from Gaston, yeah. Gaston, Louisiana, and who like Ursula. I think just kind of like the like charismatic villains.
He occupies a corner of militant, ferocious, and also feral at the same time. So it's George C. Scott. It's fucking Patton. Like, there couldn't be a more terrifying dude to do the voice and like a more terrifying execution of character. He's so scary.
Yeah.
He's so scary.
Exactly. But the character is written so well that even like the comedy as well. So like that as a the egg stealing scene with him and Joanna.
Did you take one of my eggs? Open your mouth. These are not Joanna eggs. Let's see. The boy's got the eagle. I want the eagle. The boy won't give me the eagle. If I could just find the boy's weak spot, I could get him to tell me where the eagle is. But the boy's only got one weak spot, and that is the eagle. Maybe if I stuck him in a giant anthill, that would loosen his tongue, and then I got it! Got your hand caught in the cookie jar, didn't you? Huh? You think you're messing with, you dumb animal? My mental facilities are twice what yours are, you pea-brain.
This is better than Who's on First. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Name me a better fucking physical comedy bit than the fucking egg box moving slapstick. You know what I mean? It's impeccable. It's fucking impeccable. Oh, I love it so much.
And it's like it just, especially at the end too. It even has like the trick button where you think he got her, and then he opens it up and she got them all, so it doesn't fucking matter. And that's where I'm like,
I could watch that scene on repeat. It's him plotting and absolutely doing perfect slapstick.
Yeah.
Vaudevillian fucking comedy.
For real. Yeah.
You think that we're like hyping this up too much? Like, I promise you, if you haven't seen the movie for a while, go, like, you're gonna giggle by yourself, which to me is like the mark of like a great fucking comedy. You know what I mean? Like when you're like to by yourself in your room.
And also it's like an hour and 17 minutes long with credits, so it's not gonna take you that much time.
Yeah.
And it like you said, it's quick. It goes through. The pacing of it is bing babu babu babu. We're doing it.
Yep.
And
there's no lulls. Oh, can I say another high? That's a small scene, but very like beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Is when Bianca and Bernard are at dinner on top of this like light fixture in like a human restaurant, and there's ratatouille roaches. There's just little tiny roaches that are chefs, and like talk about another fucking beautiful little montage is like a pea rolls on the floor, and then like a little ratatouille roach goes out and gets it and like drops it down on the little thing, and they're like, pea soup, like they're so excited.
And that's another thing where ever since I saw that as a kid, I had never had pea soup until I was an adult, so that was my only reference for pea soup. It's
one pea.
It's one pea in a thimble.
2 roaches, a little bit of salt.
And that's it. People put all this other stuff in it. That's all you need. That's all you need. It's the Disney recipe. Is 1 pea, a thimble, a little bit of salt, 2 roaches. Can't go wrong. You heard it here first. Well, you heard it there first, but
I do have a fan theory to float.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in that scene with the fancy restaurant, there's a couple where Bernard is like searching around on the floor because he drops the engagement ring that he's trying to, propose to Bianca with. He drops it and rolls around, and then it goes under the table of a very stately woman
Yes.
mouse and a very small man mouse. And they're very clearly in love, and they have, they're cute, and then he accidentally like touches her toe, and then she like kicks the shit out of him. However, this exact couple is in the Goofy movie.
What?
And they're on the way to drive into the concert, and they see them in the car, and it's this big, giant, very fun-looking lady. Like, she does look like she'd be fun to hang out with. And then this tiny little guy, and he's so in love with her. And then they're in another part later in the Goofy movie, but like that representation, man, it's like copy-pasted. I'm just saying, I was really confused a lot as a kid about how this was a separate movie than a lot of other movies. I think this was all connected.
I have to look.
I'm doing it right now.
It is Disney, so it's like it could be in the same universe, And I
don't know how to Google this.
And now I see why Schnupp had to do the vaccine.
Lady.
Giant. You just Googled giant lady.
Goofy movie, giant lady, small husband in love.
Giant goofy lady love.
Can you believe that did not turn out the results I wanted? Can you fucking believe it?
Hey, Bill. Yeah, we got another question for you. You're not gonna believe this, but
oh wow, I got some very strange results. Don't Google those words together.
I mean, I could see this being in the same universe as Goofy, because that would make sense why in the Goofy universe he's a dog but also owns a dog.
Bro.
So like that would kind of on the same page of Frank, Joanna, like it's a couple lizards that they built different. Let's just put it that way. And but I did think though about that scene. I was like, man, that was a trope that they just love to play, was the big woman with the super small guy, and she really tosses him around. And
like he's so in love.
But that's their thing. And I think that might be part of like inclusivity and everything now, where people are like, I mean, obviously it's a real thing. People are like, yeah, fucking toss me around. I'm into it. But like back in the day, it was like, that was the fucking punchline, man. That was like, what can we have? And it's like, just put a big woman, a small guy. And they're like, fucking genius.
Giant lady, tiny guy.
Giant lady. GLTG. GLTG. It's just GLTG. They're just like, we don't know what we're gonna put in this scene, and then it's like 3 pages of the script that just says GLTG, just on 3 pages, and they're like,
no, it'll write itself. Babe,
yeah, like
babe,
we don't need to do anything. We do not need to do literally whatever your character is holding. Have them drop it. It hits the giant lady. She hits the tiny guy.
Gonna beat the shit out of her little tiny husband.
And that's it. And that's how,
like, honey.
That's how you win your fucking Oscar, kid. That's how you do it. That's how you write a script.
I can't believe we've gotten this far in. We have not talking about Wilbur yet.
Wilbur.
John Candy doing me the most favors and just like delighting my heart more than I can honestly just like say. Like, you thought that you loved John Candy and like Uncle Buck, you know what I mean? And like,
foolish of you.
Home Alone, right?
Foolish of you.
Him as Wilbur is the funniest goddamn bit. And also, okay, this is a beautiful little gift that you are given if and when you've seen the first Rescuers, because it's played by a different man.
Jim Jordan.
Like the big giant, yes, the big giant albatross. And then in the Rescuers Out and Under, it says now under new management. And it's his, like, brother or something. I think it's his brother.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, Wilbur's supposed to be his brother. So in the first one, it's Orville, who is voiced by Jim Jordan, but he died 2 years before this one was released. So then the producers,
they did like a cute,
they didn't want to replace him, so then they did the whole.
Really beautiful. I just really liked how they did that, and also I like that John Candy made his own character out of this, of like being the absolute wild uncle. You know what I mean? Like that brother that you're like, oh boy, did you inherit the business? Oh God.
Yeah.
He's so fun. I love every single thing he does and says. And I do think the movie does a really good job of addressing that, like, that was comedic gold, and he maybe didn't get enough screen time because there's post credits.
Yeah. And
I don't mean
also,
to jump ahead, but like,
I mean, I
the
also
post-credits
forgot.
are fucking
I forgot too about the because it's been a long time since I've seen this. I don't think I've seen this since I was a kid, but I totally forgot about the like hospital scene where he's at the hospital and they're doing all that crazy shit.
It's so funny, dude.
I literally forgot about it until I saw the
mice.
I saw the outside of the like the hospital,
Yeah,
which
like
is
the little
the car, and
dome
I
building.
literally I said,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, this," because I was watching it with my roommate. She had never seen it, and I was just like, "I fucking forgot about this." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Just wait." And then they have that fucking doctor who has like kind of like Nazi doctor vibes, but like
Goggles on,
not
and you're
really.
like, that's not.
Yeah, you're like, where were you in the 40s? What were you up to?
Will it hurt, Doc?
Dear boy, you won't feel a thing. Launch the back brace.
Hey, wait!
Oh, I've been skewered. I've already missed tea, Mr. Albatross. Now don't force me to take drastic measures. You must relax.
Relax? I have never been more relaxed in my life. If I were any more relaxed, I'd be dead.
I'm not convinced. 60 milligrams.
60 milligrams?
That is absolutely a joke from the Second World War. It is a nod to fucking Nazi fucking doctors.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a tongue-in-cheek nod to fucking concentration camps. Also, okay, so the second that exact scene where like the hospital comes into view, the thing that immediately plays in my mind is heave ho, and they poke him with the fucking, like that's. I remembered it. Sensory memory immediately. I love them little mean ass nurses.
Yeah, the little mean nurses were super new, and but then also going into it, and you know, I didn't know if I should bring this up because it might be too soon, but just the comedic truth of throwing his back out.
Here, let me give you a hand with those bags, pal. All part of the friendly service here at Albatross. Ow! Oh, big time hurt. Ah, back. Oh, it's out.
River, are you all right?
Don't worry, ma'am. I'll handle this. Sparky, you watch the tower. We gotta get this bird to the hospital.
Oh, can't go down, can't go up. Oh, take the bags, take the bags.
It's the metaphor is right there because to him, these bags are microscopic. They are so tiny. And he goes to pick them up and just completely throws his back right out. And I was like, that's it. That's when you get older, that's how you hurt yourself. It's not doing the big stuff because you know, I can't do the big stuff anymore. I'm old. So then your body's like, well, we're still getting hurt somehow. So it's going to be when you're fucking picking up that fork. And
You want a little peek behind the curtains?
I don't know why I said fork
Arlo
like that, but
they're back out, moving that fuck couch. Do you see it? It's back there somewhere. But you know how I've also thrown my back out?
How?
Sneezing while getting out of bed, dude. I threw on the way out of bed. Fucked me up.
And that, like, that's it. So literally I was like, but then also it's like the comedy of him just like falling and then suddenly being like, oh, it's fixed.
Loving. Yeah.
My back. Hey. Oh, hey, it works. I'm cured.
My back.
Just that weird thing if something's broken, just hit it a couple times and then
tweaking it back into.
It'll knock it back into place.
Everything about this movie is so good.
Literally everything.
Howdy.
Literally and it's like the cast, like we said, John Candy. You got you got George C. Scott. You got Bob Newhart, Ava Gabor.
Again, Eva Gabor and Bob Newhart coming back for revival of these parts is, I can't believe that this, it's huge. Like, it's huge.
They did it right because they were going to do a third one, but then John Candy and Ava Gabor died, and they were just like, we're not even going to do it. We're not going to try.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, fucking respect to you, Disney, before.
Yeah, they did it perfectly. The fact that however many years later, 13 years later, math is kind of hard, dude.
Yeah, 13
years later, Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor came back for those roles and just like, it's not phoned in. Like, it's so earnest. They're so perfect. There's not a misstep with any of the voicing. And like, one person I will shout out is Wayne Robson, who plays Frank. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah.
And like, if you look at a picture, this is fucking delicious. If you look at a picture of Wayne Robson, He looks exactly like Frank. Like it was drawn for him. Like he's this like weird wiry, like his jaw's kind of big and his neck's kind of long. Like he looks exactly like it. It's too perfect. I really enjoy that.
All right, prequel, sequel, reboot. What do you got?
I want a sequel, but like it also involves a degree of necromancy that I don't think anyone's comfortable with.
That, honestly, if Disney possessed, Walt would be walking around getting canceled right now.
Isn't he though?
Walt would be walking around talking about, I'm gonna move to Texas, and
I'm gonna live right next to Joe Rogan, and I'm gonna bring this weird little mouse back to. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
Walt would have a couple months ago been like, you know what? Actually, I've always wanted to live in Austin. I think I'm just gonna move. You know where we can draw
Austin's
better?
Too liberal, bro.
We can draw better in Austin.
Fort Worth.
Yeah, well, they're moving the company to Austin, but like all of his work is gonna be like
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, it's gonna be in it. It's
I'm
gonna
trying
be.
to think of like a problematic. Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, I don't really know. Paris, Texas.
I don't know. Oh, dude, I've been there. Have you been there?
No, not at all.
Well, don't talk about it then. I'm sorry.
Was I wrong?
It's cute in its own way that they know that they have a funny name, and they have like cute little like tchotchke shops where it's like
I feel like you have
tiny
to.
little Eiffel Tower, and they're like, haha.
You have to.
But also violently bigoted and racist.
Yeah, see, there we go. So that was that. I was right.
Yeah, but they got tchotchke. Yeah, I mean, I wish, upon a million stars that we could have a sequel.
Yeah. But like, what would the story be though?
So them little mice are married now, and Bernard really wants some more mice babies. And doesn't want to go on any more missions, you know what I mean? But Bianca's like, oh,
I want to live, Bernard.
You can't tie me down. I do out of my submissions. And then there's a kid in like an Asian country, because like that's kind of where we are. You know what I mean? Like socio-politically, economic. We don't. It's an Asian kid, and we got to rescue that little kid. And like, I like to imagine like a South Asian, you know what I mean, like Philippines or something.
Yeah.
Where we're kind of in a different ecosystem, you know. We've done like Britain to the south, Britain to Australia, now Philippines, and then little mice go and rescue a little kid that's like working in a child labor situation, but because it's Disney, it's like, no, the kid like volunteer.
No, if it was
go work in a child factory.
If it was
they're doing it because they're working so hard.
If it was this universe, they'd go out of their way for you to know that this kid has the shittiest life possible, and like they'll like Bambi style show the kid's parents getting killed,
right? And they're like, isn't the factory kind of a respite for this child?
Yeah. And then like McLeach is running. God. McLeach is like moved to the Philippines. He's gone kind of like Deer Hunter on it, where it's just like he's so like crazy, just like me and Joanna run our own machine shop.
He kills a parent.
100%. 100%. And he's like making
Nikes or no, what?
Like Fabergé eggs.
That's it. The opulence, like the unnecessary opulence, for sure.
That's what he's making. And he's just like, yeah, I started thinking about Joanna's eggs idea. And she's just like, just like, but all like diamond out and shit.
Yes. And in a weird Disney oversight, they do choose to rescue one child from this factory and then ignore fucking all the rest of them, kind of like the first movie. So it is a bit of a throwback, you know what I mean? Because there were a bunch of other orphans.
Okay, interesting.
But we just featured the one that was the cutest voice actor.
The one that has the
cutest.
The one that has the best story. We're going American Idol rules on this. That's how we're doing it. Yeah,
So
and then maybe Bernard at the end is like, "Oh, Bianca, shouldn't we get the rest of the kids?" And she's like, "Oh, Bernard, we will come back. It will be fine."
Come again. And then they
don't come back.
adopt them all, and those are their babies. So they don't ever have any mice babies. They have human babies.
You want to talk about
Raise
size?
them.
The differences in size. You have the kids.
It didn't matter before. Why should it matter now?
That's true. That's true. You got me there. You really got me there. Oh, and then we have some sort of crossover because then those kids can like be the in between the human world and then the mouse world.
Right.
And then
ambassadors.
And then farther. Oh, this is fucking gold. And then farther down the line.
Yeah.
Somehow, this isn't shown.
Okay.
There's some weird breeding going on. Small humans.
Nope, hate it. Take it back. Put it away.
Small humans enter the borrowers.
Giant mice. Sorry, what?
The borrowers. And then we get John Goodman.
Talk about another universe that's like deliciously small.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, and so that's how the borrowers learn how to live in the walls, because the mice are like, we're going to show you how to make your own little society.
Right.
That's the movie I want to see. All right, let's wrap this up. Plugs. What do you want to plug? Where can people find you? Who are you?
Well, that got deep fast. Arlo CW across all platforms. I have a show, but this is gonna come out after it. But I just want you all to know that I'm booking shit. You know what I mean? I just want you to know that in your heart. I came to hear from a different show. I'm gonna do a different show tomorrow. I just want you all to know that I stay booking stuff. So I was on this thing on Epix called Unprotected Sets. I'm on season 2, and they're gonna release a podcast version of my episode. So if you can't be fucked with to figure out how to get Epix, which I fully understand, you can hear me instead of see me, which I arguably better, on an upcoming podcast of that thing. Anyway, that was a pretty good pitch. All right, goodbye.
You're gonna be posting about it?
Yeah, they're giving us like a packet, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. So if they follow you, then when it comes out, you'll be posting.
Yeah,
they can find it.
Watch.
Yeah.
Figure it out, team. Come on.
I can't do everything for you here. Come on. You gotta find your inner Cody, okay? Just go out there and get it.
Be unfazed.
America
I'm
first.
a little courageous man. America.
You can find me on all platforms at Grentradish, GRENTRADDISH. I am also streaming on Twitch and YouTube Thursdays, Saturdays, sometimes Mondays, sometimes Wednesdays if I'm feeling saucy. I stream games. Yesterday I streamed Sly Cooper, the throwback game. That's what I'm going to start doing, some throwback games. We're going to start doing some watch parties, stuff like that. Get it all wrapped in with the podcast. So go follow me on that. Check that out. That's a lot of fun. As always, follow the podcast on all platforms at The Older Kids Pod. Join the Patreon, where for just $2, that's less than $3 a month, you can support the podcast. And for $5, which is just a couple dollars more than that a month, you can get bonus content. I know we've been joking about Patreon this whole time, and you're like, wow, how do I get that content? You subscribe to the Patreon. You support the podcast. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, if you laughed legally, you have to hit the thumbs up button. You have to hit that like. Make sure you're following notifications on so you know every time we drop a new episode. Follow everywhere you listen to podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts right now, rate us 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Anything less than that, you know the drill. Email me. We'll talk about it like adults. And that is it. Thank you for listening. We will be back next time with another great guest and another possibly not so great movie. Arlo, thanks for being here, bud.
Thanks, bud.
That was a lot of talking very quickly, but we will be back.
It was as long, but it was quicker.
And I 100% understand what you mean. It really does make sense.
You do a really good job.
Thank you. Keep going. We'll push the podcast longer.
This is a very fun podcast.
We'll push the podcast longer as long as you keep complimenting me. How about that?
I'm glad that you guys all listen. And you know what? Elliott sells himself short and says, rate 5 or 4 or 3. Absolutely not. 5 only. Fuck off if you're not in the 5-star club. Nobody here has any time for your shit. And if you have a fucking problem, DM me. I love a fight. Okay, goodbye.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time. Bye.